A blurry, shaky video hits Weverse at like 3:00 a.m.
Oh, I remember exactly where I was when this dropped.
Right. It's a humid midnight in Manhattan, and the footage, which is clearly shot from a phone hidden behind a pillar, shows union workers hauling these massive glass-encased museum displays into the main concourse of Grand Central Terminal.
It was so surreal to watch.
Totally. And the camera zooms in on a very specific sparkling Dior jacket, and in that second, the fandom just went completely silent.
Literal chills, honestly.
And then, in an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down. K-nuts realized exactly what they were looking at. It wasn't just the stage outfit being moved around. It was the blueprint for a total urban takeover.
Yeah, a massive one.
So, welcome to this deep dive into the source material, but more specifically, welcome to StarScope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates.
That's right.
From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
And today, we are unpacking the absolute madness of what happened in August 2026.
Yes, big one.
Because BTS didn't just wrap up the New York leg of their highly anticipated Arirang World Tour. I mean, yes, they sold out MetLife Stadium for a massive weekend residency, but they executed BTS The City Arirang, turning the entire metropolis into this immersive, multi-million-dollar festival.
Which is just insane to think about.
It really is. And musically, I mean, it's already a certified triumph. Their fifth full-length album, Arirang, is currently sitting at number 15 on the Billboard 200.
Huge.
Yeah. And with tracks like Swim and Normal securing their spots on the Hot 100, it's basically an absolute all-kill on the chart.
A total all-kill.
But the real paradigm shift here, like the story that has macroeconomists and hospitality giants actually sweating right now, is what happened outside the stadium.
Exactly. Because, when you've got upward of 150,000 hardcore stands descending on the tri-state area for a comeback concert, you face this massive logistical question.
Right, what do they do all day?
Yeah, what do these people do for the other 20 hours of the day? Usually, like, a tourist goes to the top of the rock just to see the skyline. But during this specific week, the skyline was honestly just the backdrop. The landmarks themselves were repurposed into this closed-loop fan economy.
Okay, let's unpack this, because this isn't just a concert promotion.
No, not at all.
This is like taking Disney World, breaking it into pieces, and hiding it across the grid of Manhattan for fans to hunt down. Imagine the sheer logistical coordination required to pull this off.
It was a highly coordinated, brilliantly negotiated urban footprint.
Yeah.
I mean, think about what was actually captured in that hidden camera footage at Grand Central.
Right, the Dior jacket.
Exactly. They were installing a museum-quality exhibition of the group's actual stage outfits from their legendary 2019 Wembley Stadium concert.
Which is so iconic.
Truly iconic. But placing it in Vanderbilt Hall wasn't just, like, an aesthetic choice. It was deliberate geographical storytelling.
Oh, because of the Fallon performance. Yeah. Yes. Back in February 2020, BTS performed their track, On In, right there in the main concourse for a late-night television broadcast. Yeah. So by securing that specific real estate, HYBE isn't just giving fans something pretty to look at. They are creating a physical pilgrimage site for the fandom to revisit a historic milestone.
Wow, yeah. But, I mean, securing Vanderbilt Hall or the top of the rock where they actually brought in local New York artists to reinterpret the Arirang aesthetic, that sounds like an absolute bureaucratic nightmare.
Oh, I can't even imagine the paperwork.
Right. You're dealing with the MTA, the city permit office, private billionaires who own Rockefeller Center. Like, who is actually taking on the financial risk here? Does an entertainment agency just write a blank check to the city of New York and hope to make it back in merchandise sales?
Well, that is the genius of this business model. HYBE isn't necessarily renting these spaces out of pocket and just hoping for a return. They operate much more like a high-end franchise or a licensing partner.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so they are providing the intellectual property, this immense localized gravity of the Hallyu wave, and they are profit-sharing with the property owners.
Oh, I see.
Like, for example, Rockefeller Center's Weather Room Cafe completely revamped its menu to feature items inspired by the comeback. HYBE drives the guaranteed foot traffic, and the local business handles the operational logistics. And they both capitalize on the massive spike in food and beverage sales.
Which brings up the sheer chaos of moving tens of thousands of people between these licensed experiences.
Oh, yeah, the crowds.
I mean, if you've ever tried to navigate Midtown Manhattan on a normal Tuesday, you know it's incredibly congested. Now imagine injecting a massive gamified scavenger hunt into that grid.
You're talking about the stamp rally.
Yes, the stamp rally.
The Bank of Hope's Manhattan branch hosted this massive activation where fans received a physical stamp at different designated checkpoints around the city, and they could eventually exchange those for exclusive rewards.
Which is so fun, but sounds so chaotic.
Right, but what mitigated the chaos and generated massive goodwill, honestly, was the philanthropic anchor.
Oh, the donations.
Yeah, for every single check-in a fan made on the app, the bank donated $1 to financial literacy programs.
That is so smart. But just from a purely logistical standpoint, getting fans from K-Town to Times Square to Grand Central safely, I mean, they actually branded the transit itself.
They really did.
They had a fully themed The City double-decker bus.
Yeah.
And in Times Square, they essentially bypassed traditional crowd control by partnering with local New York dance crews.
The dance sessions were amazing.
So amazing. They hosted these massive open-air public dance sessions to the new album.
It's decentralized crowd control. Instead of 100,000 people lining up outside a single pop-up shop in Soho and literally shutting down the street,
Yeah.
you spread the fandom across a dozen different nodes throughout the city.
Right, which makes everyone's life easier.
Exactly. But taking over public monuments and plazas only does so much. It builds the hype, sure. It gets the viral TikToks. But it doesn't necessarily capture individualized, trackable consumer data.
Right, because standing in Times Square is free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you translate that public, chaotic energy into a private, highly monetized consumer ecosystem? How do you capture the fans' dollar when they just want to retreat, recharge, or, like, get ready for the show?
Good question.
Oh, wait, that's not even the wildest part of this comeback. Later in this deep dive, we'll talk about the staggering economic multiplier that literally rivals the FIFA World Cup.
I still can't believe those numbers.
They're insane. But first, if you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you're subscribed to StarScope K-Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead.
So bridging that gap between public hype and private spending brings us directly into the K-beauty and hospitality sectors.
My favorite part.
Mine too. Because as a fan, you don't just want to see the exhibits, you want to look the part, and you want to immerse yourself in the culture 24/7.
And that's where the TirTir collaboration becomes a masterclass in cross-industry synergy.
Yo, the makeup collab.
Yeah, TirTir, the viral K-beauty brand, partnered up as an official arm of the City Project. They launched a limited edition BTS The City New York Perfect Setting Duo. It specifically paired their Mask Fit makeup fixer with their Reflect Glow Prep Primer.
Which, I have to say, the marketing here is brilliant because they identified a highly specific, practical pain point for the fandom.
The sweating.
Yes. If you have ever been to an outdoor stadium show in New Jersey in August, the humidity is completely unforgiving.
It's brutal.
You are sweating, you are screaming, you are dancing. Keeping your visuals intact for a 4-hour set is basically a legitimate athletic endeavor.
It really is an endurance test.
Yeah.
But, you know, they didn't just sell a practical makeup fixer. They wrapped it in this modern take on the traditional bakjimioni.
Oh, the lucky pouch.
Exactly. It's a genius cultural Easter egg for K-Nets and international stands alike, taking this modern viral cosmetic and presenting it inside a traditional lucky pouch.
But the way they distributed it is what I find so fascinating from a business perspective. Like, they didn't just stock it on shelves at Sephora and hope fans happen to find it.
No, not at all.
They funneled the fans through their own proprietary digital infrastructure first. You had to pre-order the Duo via the Weaver Shop app in late July. And then the physical pickup wasn't just, a transactional counter.
Oh, no. It was a full immersion zone.
Yeah.
TirTir actually hosted a concert-proof makeup bar at the Korean Cultural Center, New York.
That is so cool.
Right. So when you arrived to pick up your Weverse order, you were walking into a highly curated space. You could test sun care lines, try on lip products.
I would spend so much money there.
Same. And the Cultural Center itself capitalized on this incredibly high-intent foot traffic. They opened the Arirang Theater right there to screen the Keep Swimming documentary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they even had customization booths for light sticks.
I really want to look at the underlying structure of this because the traditional metaphor people use for this kind of marketing is a Trojan horse. Using the music to sneak K-beauty and Korean culture into the West.
Right, I've heard that a lot.
But I don't think that fits anymore. This isn't a Trojan horse. This operates much more like open source software.
Oh, that's interesting. Elaborate on that.
So HOAE isn't sneaking anything in. They are providing the base operating system, the BTS brand, the Arirang comeback, the massive localized energy of the fandom. And then they are allowing local New York businesses, whether that's TirTir or a five-star hotel, to build their own specific apps or revenue streams on top of that base code. It's an entirely closed-loop economy where the agency provides the user base and local businesses provide the infrastructure.
That is a phenomenal way to frame it.
Huh?
I completely agree. And honestly, nowhere is that open source model more evident than in the hospitality sector.
Oh, the hotel packages.
Yes, let's examine the 33 Hotel by Sono in Manhattan. This is a premium 5-star property.
Very fancy.
Very. They signed on as an official partner and launched a limited edition room package. And if you are a fan who picked this room, the immersion literally begins the second you walk through the revolving doors.
The list of in-room amenities alone is a collector's dream.
Seriously.
You get a mini luggage case, a travel pouch, the official slogan towel, an eye mask, branded slippers, but the absolute smartest piece of inventory they included was this acrylic photo topper.
Yes, the photo topper, because that isn't just a souvenir. It is a tool for organic, decentralized marketing.
Exactly. So when you checked into the Sonocom, you were handed a Find Your Arirang passport. The hotel is actively encouraging you to leave the property, go out into the city, and complete photo missions at places like the Brooklyn Bridge or Pier 17.
It's basically a game.
Yeah. You hold up this branded acrylic frame, snap a picture of the bridge inside the frame, and post it. You are doing the marketing for them, flooding social media timelines with branded New York City landmarks.
And when you come back to the hotel, the loop just closes. The lobby featured this massive pass wall where international fans could pin where they traveled from and display those photos.
I love that community aspect.
It's so smart. They even set up a dedicated gathering space called Where Airangs Meet from Thursday to Saturday, complete with conversation cards.
And you didn't even have to leave the lobby to eat on theme.
The food looked amazing.
It did. The hotel's Urban Cove restaurant completely rewrote its menu to cater to the fandom. They had gochujang wings, shrimp bao, yuzu green tea highballs, and this drink they branded the Strawberry Soul Sprite.
Oh, I need to try that.
Right. So again, going back to the open source analogy, HYBE didn't have to build a restaurant, staff a kitchen, or secure a liquor license. They just provided the cultural API, and the 33 Hotel monetized it to the absolute maximum.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. We've looked at the cultural integration, the logistics, the emotional resonance for the
The
staff.
fun stuff.
Right. But what does this actually mean for the macroeconomic bottom line? Because these deeply curated citywide events are not orchestrated just for the aesthetics.
No, absolutely not. They are orchestrated to generate staggering amounts of capital. So let's look at the numbers.
Let's hear them.
The anchor event, the weekend residency at MetLife Stadium, pulled in roughly 110,000 to 150,000 official attendees. Now, big artists sell out stadiums all the time. But the multiplier effect of this specific fandom is unlike anything else in the industry.
It really is. To understand the velocity of this money, we can actually look at the precedent set by HYBE's earlier This City project in Las Vegas.
Oh, right, the Vegas one.
Yeah, during that 4-night residency, they utilized this exact same playbook. They had coordinated fountain shows at the Bellagio, pop-up retail, specialized menus. The sources indicate that the Las Vegas activation generated an estimated $340 million in regional economic impact.
Okay, I have to push back here. $340 million from a single weekend residency.
That's what the data says.
Is that a real number, or is that, like, PR math? I've seen massive tech conventions, CES, Dreamforce, and major sports championships that don't even touch that kind of regional impact. How exactly is an entertainment agency calculating $350 million?
It's a very fair question, and the skepticism is totally warranted until you dig into a concept called linked spending.
Linked spending?
Yeah. Michael Mariano, who handles economic development at Tourism Economics, breaks this down in our sources. The mistake most analysts make is that they only look at the stadium box office. They only look at the primary ticket sale.
Right, because if a ticket is $200 and 100,000 people buy one, that's $20 million, nowhere near $340 million.
Exactly. But you have to measure the entire ecosystem of the fan's 72-hour life cycle.
Okay, walk me through it.
When a fan flies in for this comeback, they are booking flights. They are upgrading to that premium theme package at the Sono. They are riding the subway, taking cabs, eating Gochujang wings at the hotel lobby, and dropping hundreds of dollars on TirTir makeup at the cultural center.
Oh, I see. And because the city project has gamified the entire map, the fan has an official, branded incentive to spend money continuously from 8 a.m. until midnight for 3 or 4 days straight.
Precisely. The linked spending, the peripheral costs of existing and participating in this closed-loop economy just explodes the financial footprint. Mariano states that when you factor in this multiplier effect, the economic impact of these fans during a city activation is comparable to or even greater than the FIFA World Cup.
Greater than the World Cup.
Yeah.
Think about the gravity of that statement for a second. If a city wants to host the World Cup, it requires a decade of municipal planning. They have to pass taxpayer-funded bonds to build a $500 million stadium that might just sit entirely empty after the tournament ends.
Exactly. It's a huge burden.
They have to coordinate with dozens of foreign governments.
Yeah.
And you are telling me that a single South Korean entertainment company is generating a comparable, highly concentrated economic stimulus using private capital and infrastructure that already exists.
That is exactly what the data reveals. They aren't building a new stadium. They were just changing the software running inside the city for a week.
That is mind-blowing.
It is arguably the most efficient capital allocation in the history of live entertainment, and is driving historic internal growth for the agency. Back in 2023, largely driven by the synergy between these massive live tours and their multi-category IP, HYBE became the first South Korean entertainment agency to cross $2 trillion in annual revenue.
Which, at the time, was roughly $1.67 billion US.
Yeah, massive.
They didn't just achieve a chart all-kill, they got an economic all-kill. It completely recontextualizes what a world tour even is. It's not just a band playing a 2-hour set and getting back on a bus. It is a highly mobile, incredibly potent economic stimulus package that lands in a city, enriches the local hospitality and retail sectors, and then packs up and moves to the next grid.
It fundamentally changes the relationship between an artist and a host city. The local government isn't just dealing with traffic headaches anymore. They are actively benefiting from a massive influx of taxable revenue.
Which brings us to our final takeaway. As we wrap up this deep dive into the source material, it's clear that the city project is the ultimate evolution of the K-pop machine.
Without a doubt.
It's no longer just about the parasocial relationship between the fan and the idol. It is a 360-degree integration of lifestyle, beauty, technology, and geography.
Absolutely. And for you listening, the next time your bias announces a massive stadium comeback, I challenge you to look beyond the ticketing app. Watch the surrounding infrastructure of your city.
Definitely.
Pay attention to the hotels, the transit hubs, the local restaurants. Because the ticket is just the entry fee. The surrounding ecosystem is where the real mechanics of the industry are operating. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update, because we are watching these trends closely.
It definitely leaves us with a provocative thought to mull over. If a single music group can successfully export an entire cultural ecosystem to a foreign metropolis and generate World Cup-level revenue using existing private infrastructure, what happens when other industries realize how viable this is?
It's a scary thought for competitors.
Could we see a global film franchise like Marvel or Star Wars attempting to physically take over the grid of Chicago for a premiere week?
Oh, I could totally see that.
Could a tech giant like Apple bypass the convention center entirely and just gamify the streets of London? Once the blueprint for turning a living, breathing city into a branded open-source playground has been proven this wildly profitable, the chaos of the city might never look the same again.
It's a blueprint that is definitely keeping rival agencies and corporate boardrooms awake at night.
You've been listening to StarScope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.